Like, you can't miss.
Alright, why are you saying it the right?
Yeah, come this.
Right?
Alright,
Okay,
I just wanted to record this video. As you can see, I'm recording in front of the Hartwood Bridge right now.
Why are you saying that?
There's just like the fucking couple making out. It's kind of discomforting because they've been doing it for the last 10 minutes. Anyways, I just want to record this video because just a few months ago, you know, I was in my bedroom recording like 480p videos, and now I'm here on a wet table in Sydney in front of the Harbour Bridge, and it's basically about midnight right now, or like right before midnight. And I just wanted to talk about a few paradigm shifts that got me here. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of insane because I've been in Sydney for the last 5 months and it's been nothing but pure fucking insanity, and I loved every single second of it, you know. Sorry if it's really loud behind me, but I'll try not to be too loud or get kicked out by security for some reason, because I just saw security. Anyways, I want to talk about a few lessons that got me to where I am right now, and I don't know, it's been really crazy. And the first thing I want to talk about is, you know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, okay? And if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, don't worry, because I don't know either. And I remember this was something Iman Gadji even said, you know, he was sitting in a fucking Rolls Royce Phantom, which is $1 million. He was like, you know, a decamillionaire at that point. And he still says, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, because I don't even know how the fuck I'm here, okay? I don't even know how I'm recording this, because a few months ago, I was in my fucking bedroom. And that's the truth. Less than a year ago, I was sitting in my bedroom doing anything to not deal with my fucking parents, okay? That's the facts. You'll never know what you're doing. You'll never be fully sure, because the challenges will always adapt to your level. So you'll always be uncertain, you know? You'll never really know what you're doing until you finish doing it, right? You know, when you look at the problems of the past, you think they're so easy to solve, and that's what's gonna happen in the future, you know? When your future self looks back at your current self, they're gonna think the problems are so easy to solve, right? But, you know, in the moment, it's always gonna be difficult. No matter what level you're at, it's always gonna be difficult in the moment, right? Because you don't have foresight, you can't see ahead of time. And that's just a limitation of being human. So, fixing my camera again. Hopefully you can see the bridge. It's crazy, okay? You will never, like, you know, it's crazy to live this life, right? And I guess I'm gonna just go into my second point, okay? My second point is, the life is crazy. You know, life is fucking crazy, right? I remember going to the 26th story of an Airbnb, and I was with Darius Chong, right? He was the creative producer for Brett Scales, which is like basically the biggest Shopify, you know, e-commerce type of core seller guy out there. He does meta ads himself, but you know, he's really big, like borderline, you know, 8 figures basically, right? Anyways, I was on the 26th floor with him. He was doing a shoot for a guy called Rayston, and that guy is doing 300K a month, at least when I was speaking to him. You can check the video, 10B1 Rayston team, right? I was the behind the scenes cameraman, and I remember just looking out at the view, right? 26th story. It was actually in this building. If you look over there, you can see Crown Towers over there. The building was actually next to Crown Towers, right? And it was just incredible. I'm like, these guys are 19 and 20 years old, you know? How the fuck are they doing this shit? And, well, it's not the how they are, because I know how they do it, but, like, it's just so fucking cool that they're living the life that they want, you know? I remember Darius always describes it to me, you know? It's always doing cool shit. And then I never really knew what it meant until that day, because it is cool shit, you know? I'm in front of the fucking Harbour Bridge at 12 a.m. recording a fucking long form video for my audience, right? And, you know, honestly, I kind of realize even if you have a 9 to 5, you get to live this life from time to time. You know, you get to go out on Fridays, you get to go out and side quest, right? It's great. But, you know, it's great to do it 2 days a week, but why don't you do it every single day, right? And that's kind of the thing. Life is fucking crazy, no matter what path you choose. But, you know, do you want to live a life that is, I guess, a little crazy from time to time, or like just always just absolutely fucking mad, you know? And it might sound like it's too much, but like, dude, you know, as long as you fulfill a purpose, you know, it's fun. You can genuinely love every single fucking day of your life, working on what you love every day, doing shit like this at like 12 a.m. in the morning, you know? I'm like freezing to death. It's not that cold, but it's really rainy and shit, right? And, you know, like recording on a fucking wet chair at 12 a.m. on the Harbour Bridge, when just not so long ago I was in my fucking bedroom, you know, with the shitty lighting. If you scroll down on my Instagram reels, you'll see them, okay? Anyways, I guess that kind of leads me into my next point, which is really just about fulfillment. You know, in the last 5 months of moving to Sydney, I have had more freedom than anyone needed, okay? More freedom than I fucking dreamed of. It's a dream every single day. And I think, you know, relaxing and playing is really fun. But just simply, you know, side questing and side questing and side questing, if you don't stop side questing, your side quest becomes your main quest, right? And all you do is just chase the next thing. And the thing is, like, having fun by itself does not mean, you know, does not create meaning. Having fun by itself is inherently meaningless. So that's another lesson I want to teach you. You know, no matter how much fun you have, you got to make sure you have a goal, and you make sure you're going to be pursuing it, right? You know, even if you have a family, even if you have something stable, always pursue something bigger, always make the next move, right? So that's kind of the situation that I'm talking about. And yeah, I think that's kind of my point. I wanted to say something, but I just do not know what I'm going to say. But anyways, moving on to my next point. I've actually made a video about this, and it's actually, one second, I just remembered my point from the last thing. So many people, right, with online business, they chase freedom, right? They chase freedom, and trust me, I've gotten this freedom. Like, look at me right now, there's fucking fog over the bridge, bro. Like, that's so fucking cool, dude. I have the freedom that I want. Trust me, I have the freedom. Or I've gotten close enough to it, to that, so that I'm fulfilled, okay? Either or, you know, I have enough. I have more than enough. But, you know, simply having freedom isn't gonna cut it. You know, people, you know, go on a holiday to Hawaii, they start drinking pina coladas, go to Malaysia, they go to Thailand, they go to Bali, right? And then it's just, yeah, what's up?
Are you going good?
Can I sit here?
Of course, just checking in on you. You're all good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just recording something.
Oh, alright. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I was just talking to them. Anyways, and then they, like, you know, drink pina coladas for like 3 years straight, and then they're depressed because they don't know what to do, because, you know, they escaped their 9 to 5, and now they don't know what to do after their 9 to 5. I was just, the security is so funny. But yeah, that's why fulfillment is so important. But anyways, I'm gonna move on to my next lesson. All is in the mind, okay? Everything is about mindset. Now, I'm gonna tell you a quick story about myself. I was never that good with girls. Even today, I'm not that good. But there's a very big mindset switch that I made that completely, like, switched up how I thought, right? And it's fucking fantastic because I actually started getting, you know, women friends, basically. And it doesn't sound like anything remarkable, but, you know, based on my track record, it basically is. You have to change your perception, right? And I remember something that Tony Robbins said. It's called transformational vocabulary. And it's that you can change your words into different meanings so you can transform your life. For example, back when Tony Robbins was, like, quote unquote depressed, he would say, you know, only losers are depressed, right? right? And the thing about it is that he knew he wasn't a loser. And that's how he got out of depression, is because he knows he's not a loser, and only losers are depressed. So he stopped being depressed because he knows he's not a loser. And all is in the head. Everything's in the fucking head, right? You know, I kept believing that I was gonna make it. I've had so many people tell me to fucking, you know, go flip burgers at McDonald's, you know, put the fries in the bag and shit, you know? And now I'm here in the fucking Harbour Bridge doing this sick ass recording. I mean, look at that fog, bro. Like, the camera is probably gonna fuck it up. Like, it is so cool. So much cooler in person. Like, there's just a fucking couple making out there. It's just what it is, bro. That's life right now, okay? But, anyways. Yeah, the thing is, like, bro, everything is in your head. If you don't think you can do it, it's because it's in your head, okay? And for women, once I actually stopped, you know, going like, women are this, women are that, you know, the whole thing with like the manosphere, Andrew Tate, I actually started like respecting them, you know, like actually putting some respect. And when you put respect, that is, you know, I mean, obviously it's going to have good outcomes. So, and this goes for business too, you know. I mean, I always believed in myself, but I've had to keep the belief despite people telling me. You know, I remember nowadays when people say I can't do it, I'm already undeniable. So it sounds like a fucking joke to me. You know, it's like an absolute joke. Like, I'm looking at the fucking coolest thing in my life, right? And people, some drughead is telling me to fucking go and get a job and shit. So it's like, it's completely pointless. But I guess that will conclude that point. And I have another point in my head. And it's that nothing ever goes right, okay? You know, it sounds like bad mindset, but you always, you know, never get too optimistic. I remember there was an admiral, I believe, in Vietnam. I forgot his name, but it's pretty famous. And he survived 7 years of torture during the Vietnam War. And this also applied to, wasn't Albert Camus? It was one of the big philosophers. Again, I forgot his name. Damn, I can't fucking remember, but he was in Nazi torture. And both of them said the same thing, you know, people asked them, who are the people who died in torture first? And it was the people who were optimistic. Optimists die first, okay? It's a crazy concept, but it's actually really true. You always have to expect something to go wrong so you're prepared. You know, I always believe I'm gonna win. There wasn't a second where I doubted myself on that, but I never doubted. I always knew there were gonna be challenges, and I knew this was gonna be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And it is what it is. And I have complete understanding of that, and I'm completely okay with that. So that's kind of the thing, you know. These are the lessons that I can think of right now, but you know, I'll have more lessons. But you know, I don't want to end the video right here, so I'm gonna take I'm gonna show you what view I have. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, as you can see, the Harbour Bridge with the fog. Okay, on the other side we have Crown. Let me zoom in. Also with the fog. That's the Crown logo, by the way. That's Salesforce, but it's kind of glary because of the lighting settings. But you can see, like, dude, take a fucking look at this shit, dude. Okay, hold up. Look at this shit. Okay, it's fucking like 12 a.m. for me right now. Okay, and the thing is, like, the fact that I'm seeing all this cool shit, you know, the fact that I'm living this cool life that I would have dreamed about only a few months ago, it really shows how far I've come, you know? Like, bro, I just can't get over this, because this is the first time I've ever seen this too, you know? And like, you can see the river as well, and like, you know, behind me is the Opera House, you know? And like, it's just so fucking cool, you know? And people can laugh at you all you want, but like, I remember people in high school would laugh at me for months non-stop, years non-stop. And then I remember I went on my, you know, production day with Darius, and at that moment, everybody changed their mind. You know, I had suddenly, you know, people started, you know, not giving nicknames to me. People started actually respecting me. So yeah, the truth is, dude, I mean, when you start winning in life, when you actually start seeing the shit that you want, people stop doubting you. And the best thing is, you stop doubting yourself as well. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to record, so I'm gonna end the video here, bro. I hope you guys liked it. So yeah, see you guys.